It turned out the family had something of a sordid past themselves, accused of filing false claims in the past, and so the jurors ultimately concluded that there wasn't enough proof to show that Michael Jackson had committed these crimes. He was acquitted, but as I said, he never really was the same. I mean, that trial, the whole world was watching. I mean, we've all been to these big media events, but there was nothing like this. It wasn't just the national media, it was the international media. And then there would be throngs of fans across from the courthouse, people who just loved Michael Jackson, and they would scream and yell, frankly, at the reporters as we would go into the courthouse because they didn't like some of the details that were being reported about the case. So it was just one of those kind of cultural phenomenons in many ways. And I forget the sort of sideshow that would happen outside the courtroom. There was a time when Michael Jackson said he had terrible back pain and didn't come to court one day. The judge, who just was the kind of judge who was just a very no-nonsense judge and didn't want any antics, told Tom Mesereau, "You better get your client here in an hour." And there was literally a countdown clock on cable, people wondering, is Michael Jackson going to make it to the courthouse or will he be held in contempt in court? And then lo and behold, he walked in his pajamas, which all happened live on television. And in fact, there was another occasion outside that courtroom, David, when, and a lot of people remember this video, I'm sure we're showing it. This was actually early in the case, before the trial, during the arraignment. There were so many fans that came to the courthouse hoping to get a glimpse of him that he hopped up onto the SUV and did a little dance, something that did not go over well with the judge in that case. So that trial will be as much a part of the Michael Jackson story as all of his other triumphs in music since he was a little boy.
NBC's Savannah Guthrie. Savannah, thank you very much. And again, for those of you who are just joining us, NBC News is reporting, we're reporting at this hour, that Michael Jackson has died. Jackson apparently, well, it's unclear what the cause of death was, but a number of reports this afternoon that paramedics were summoned to Jackson's Holmby Hills house, where Jackson was unconscious and unresponsive. The paramedics performed CPR. That, of course, did not work. Jackson was taken to the UCLA Medical Center, where doctors pronounced him dead after he had apparently been in a very deep coma. Jackson's family members, his father Joe, and there's something of an estranged relationship between Michael Jackson and his father, but nonetheless, Joe Jackson told our NBC affiliate in Las Vegas this afternoon that he had been told that Jackson had been in cardiac arrest or had suffered some type of heart attack. All of this came at a time when Michael Jackson was less than just a couple of weeks away from starting a 3-year-long
Well, you know, this is just as much of a shock to us as it is to anybody at this point. All of this started unraveling about an hour ago when we were hearing Michael Jackson in cardiac arrest, transported to a hospital. We were not able to confirm that, and then later on we did hear that he did indeed go to the hospital. And then we heard that he wasn't breathing when he was transported by the LA City Fire Department paramedics. Later we were able to confirm that as well. And of course now, as you say, the Los Angeles Times and the Associated Press, as well as a number of other media outlets, are confirming that the pop giant has indeed passed away. He was allegedly taken to the hospital already in a deep coma, not conscious, not breathing, as you had reported. And at this point, we have no idea why. This is clearly a very sudden turn of events. Apparently, the promoters of the big shows that he was scheduled to do in London, his big comeback concert series, had done a rash of tests on his health just earlier this year, and they were
coming into the situation we're right now about Michael Jackson, the king of pop, who's 50 years old. Let's go to Deborah Ferret. She's working the story for us. What are we picking up?
Well, here's what we can tell you. This is what's being reported by KTLA. Apparently, Michael Jackson suffered cardiac arrest this afternoon. He was rushed to UCLA Medical Center. Paramedics responded to a 911 call at his home at about 12:25 Los Angeles time. According to KTLA, he was not breathing when the paramedics arrived. They did perform a CPR. He was taken to UCLA Medical Center. That's what we have in news so far. We do not know what his condition is. That was confirmed by KTLA, who spoke to the fire department captain who was there on the scene.
We'll check his condition at the hospital and get back to this story. Michael Jackson hospitalized in Los Angeles right now.
TMZ is reporting that Michael Jackson, who was taken from his Los Angeles home by ambulance and apparently suffered cardiac arrest, has died. Apparently, the paramedics tried to administer CPR, but were unable to revive him. Michael is survived by his 3 kids, Michael, Paris, and Prince. The King of Pop had 13 #1 hits in his career. Michael Jackson was only 50 years of age.